Hello, the internet, and welcome back to the live stream. It is Saturday, the 25th of April, 2020, and today I will be live for 100 minutes. What? 100 minutes, you know what that means? Two things. It's my 100th live stream, here on YouTube. What? It also means I didn't clean my mouth before I came on here. Brushed my teeth, and I've still got a lot of the mucusy, mustardy, mucusy, toothpastey thing going on. It's lucky I've got a glass of water here to quench that. Shit, I'm nervous. Why do I get so nervous here? I get really nervous streaming on YouTube. I don't understand why. My 100th YouTube live stream. Now that would kind of tell you I've streamed for 100 weeks, but that's not exactly accurate because during the month of July, for July, I went every day. So that's why we've bumped forward to 100 thus very quickly. But it does tell you 100 streams. It also tells you it's a 10th stream. Yeah, I'm looking towards the jack today. That bottle is going to be opened on this stream today, and I can't wait for that. Can you wait? You're going to have to wait because we're not going to do it straight away. I got to let this toothpastey thing sort of work its way down, and we'll get to that at some point in the stream, but I am really pumped for this bottle. This is huge. And I also want to say repeatedly, massive thanks to Sin Master over on DLive and here as well as Sin's Fun Factory. Not sure if he's in the chat today, but if he comes in, let me know. Sin Master was a huge financial contributor to this bottle, as was Adrian Banks, Scotty Ventures, and Benny12C, and Shyla Rose. So this is now 2 donations ago. And I just want to say, I'm going to repeat this multiple times. Sin Master was a huge proponent of the donations to get to this bottle. Adrian Banks, Scotty Ventures, Benny12C, and Shyla Rose, thank you very much. That's what we're going to do on the stream. We're also going to have a Q&A or an AMA, question and answer, ask me anything. Now, a lot of the questions are already in, but if you have anything you want to ask me, either hang on to it, and when we get into the AMA section, we'll take them from the chat, or you may even want to call up. We'll open up the call-in lines in a little while, you know. Like, I don't know if you watch my DLive streams, you'll know that I've sort of got a little bit of a pattern going here, a little bit of a thing. Usually the first half an hour of the stream, we just kind of cruise through it, say good day to everybody, you know, engage the chat, see what you guys are up to. Here on DLive, that serves 2 purposes. For me, that gets my nerves to be quelled. I don't know why I'm so nervous, but I am. I get freaking nervous here on YouTube. It's the same people I'm streaming to. You guys are the same crew, but I'm nervous. I don't know why. But I find that if I can slowly work my way through that, come out the other side, and we're good to continue on. And then I don't even recognize how fast the stream goes. It just flies by. On DLive, I can stream, like last night I think we streamed for over 4 hours, and it went like that. I didn't even notice. I was looking at my thing and I'm like, holy shit, we've been live for 4 hours. Here on YouTube, it's a different jug of sharks, a different kettle of fish. But I think the more long form these get, the more potential these YouTube streams will have. Now, I'm looking towards doing a few things. Being that we're 100 streams in, and I find, and you guys know this, I find the community aspect of this to be extremely important. Well, I want to start having guests on the stream. Not in the sense that we used to know it, maybe like the old Creator Cast, right? Not where it's like, well, I don't want to blow my own steam. I don't want to like talk this up and then it'll take a little while to get there. But I'm going to invest in some extra technology by spending my AdSense YouTube revenue. Now, I was actually building that up. I wanted to build it up to a certain point and then dump it all on a Mac Pro, you know, the cheese grater, the new cheese grater. That's what I was aiming for initially. And then, well, when we realized how expensive they are, like how ridiculously expensive, I was thinking, well, do I wait and see if they filter that technology from the Mac Pro and the XDR display into a refreshed iMac Pro. I don't like the iMacs. I don't like that design. It's once you've got dust in there, anything can happen. You can't open it. You can't. I like the modular design of the Mac Pro, and I thought maybe they would change that into the iMac Pro. But as you know, in the meantime, I did purchase the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I thought that this wouldn't be suitable as my daily driver. I didn't think this would be able to achieve what I need. However, I've been using it now for 2 months. Aside from that battery issue at the start and the audio is garbage on here. The speakers sound rad when you're watching a YouTube video. Try to do anything musically, plug a bass into a door and start playing the bass, and suddenly you got this. It just sounds garbage. So you need monitors, which I've got coming. This machine does everything I need easily. It's beautiful. I don't need to spend that money on a Mac Pro or a refreshed iMac Pro that hasn't even been announced yet. So I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest it into the stream with some other tech that's going to enable and facilitate actual guests to come in here, and not physical guests, but actual guests to come on the stream. And if we can, I'm going to have guests as well, but using the tech, but just doing it a different way. It's going to be, the concept I've got is, well, I don't want to blow it, but that's where I'm at. And first of all, thank you to anybody who's donated to this stream here on YouTube. And I know last week we had issues where there were no donation alerts coming up. That actually was my fault. I'll explain how that went down in a second, but those donations that have come through Super Chats into this stream for the last 100 streams, all of that money has gone into that AdSense account, and it's just sat there. And I was waiting. And now I think I know what I should do with it, and it'll get this stream to that point where, dude, you're streaming now you're gonna be streaming for 4 hours. What are you gonna do? Talk to the camera and do that on D-Live? Are you gonna sit there for 4 hours chit chatting, or can you use some technology to bring in guests? And I want to use you guys. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm live. Come on, man. Come on. This is YouTube. You can't act the fool. I got to sneeze here. I feel like I can't do a big fat sneeze like I do on D-Live on YouTube. You know, this is more professional. I did my top button up. I was going to ask you about that too. Do you think the top button up, this is what my rationale was going with. Top button up for a YouTube stream. Later on in the day when we go to D-Live and we chill out a bit, button undone. Same shirt, but button undone, a bit more relaxed. What do you think about that? Anyway, that's what I want to do, and we're so close to doing that. And I was just waiting for a certain dollar amount to reach into that AdSense account, and it's reached it. So I think that now is the time to go ahead and do that. Having said that, folks, let me read the chit chat here, because when we do stream, it's all about the community. It's all about the engagement. And when I look to my big screen chit chat here and I see all you lovely givers, I want to say hello and good morning. So let's go across here now and let's see who's up there and have a chit chat. I apologize if it looks like I'm ignoring the chat. I'm not. I just want to start my stream with some content and with, just to get like I said, calm the nerves and just slowly work myself into the stream. And it works. It helps me. I need all the help I can get, let's be honest. So I began there with hello the internet. Then Robert Muller jumped in. Morning, Benon. Looking forward to this stream. Me too. I love AMAs. You got a good question in yours too, Robert. Man, dude. I actually thought about it last night and I thought, I don't have a very good answer for that. And I still don't. I reckon I know what I'll say though. But anyway, we'll get there. Rochelle was up there next. Rochelle from D-Live, also the fiance of Hendrik. How you going, Rochelle? Mindy's channel. Mindy's up there. She's always a great supporter. She's asking about my fin chops. Have they healed up? So I haven't been in the ocean for, I think Monday was the last good day. What is it today? Saturday. Yeah, I think it was Monday was the last decent swell. We've had under a meter. We've actually had under 0.5 meters swell, which is rubbish. And I got a bunch of fin chops. I just pulled the scab off that one this morning. Don't want to show you that shit. Oh, hang on. How can I swear? I'm 10 minutes in. Fuck it. I swore. It's YouTube. You can swear as long as you're not swearing at the start, apparently. But yeah, all my fin chops have healed up. Unfortunately, when you don't surf for days at a time, you also lose the back muscle strength. So if I'm looking at it thinking the swell is slightly picking up this afternoon to the tune of just under a meter, but unfortunately by the time we finish here, the nor'easterly will be kicking in as well. So the swell will pick up a little bit, not much, and the wind will pick up. It's swinging from the west to the northwest to the northeast, which is the worst. The worst, Jerry. So I don't even know if I'm going to go out today, to be honest, but I'm itching for it. I'm itching for it. But Mindy had a good point. You might as well rest up before a waiver day begins. So on May 1, which is not even a week away now, a waiver day begins. A waiver day May edition. No board sponsor. I'm going out alone, folks. I've still got the wetsuit and the wax sponsor, but I don't have a board sponsor. Global Surf Industries, I do not represent. I'm still riding the board, and the board's still great. I personally think I've moved beyond that board, but we're going to do a waiver day May, and I'm implementing a lot of changes that you guys suggested. A huge amount of changes to the content. First of all, the content's going to be longer form. So each waiver day is going to go for over 10 minutes. That way you can include more ads in there. And apparently if you do that, you then get bumped up higher in the algorithm because YouTube favors you because you look good to advertisers because you can put ads in a 10-minute video. I'm not putting ads in the mid-roll, hell no, but before and after, right? So that's one change. The other change that you guys suggested was mix the song up. So I've been doing the same Daydreamers song for the whole month, and someone said, that's crazy, man, change it up. So I'm going to use the back catalog and one new Daydreamers track, and we're going to siphon through them all, repeating back and forward. It'll be the same songs, but you'll only hear them once or twice throughout the whole month. And they're the favorites too, the ones that you guys all love. The other thing was to use the drone. So use the drone in active track mode. Now I've tried that this week. That was the last surf I had. I think that was Sunday. Or was it Monday? I think that was Sunday. So I haven't surfed for a whole week. Shit. It doesn't work. Active track on the P4 does not work for surfing. I've got a green wetsuit. The ocean's kind of greeny aqua. Doesn't work. But the angle looks good. So I'll do it. And even if it's just me paddling out, that'll be the angle. That might be the only drone footage I use, the paddle out. Or maybe an establishing shot, right? Like as a guy called Coast Trips, who's a YouTuber here, he said, just use it for an establishing shot. Show the coastline each day. Fair call. The trouble is, I got to cart that thing with me. I got to take witches cones, big 4 of them, as per CASA regulations. I've got to keep them dry, keep them free from salt water. It's a big thing to do, but if it's going to increase the content, then I'm all about it. So I'm willing to make the changes to see if this thing works with these changes, because I got to tell you, my waiver day is hard work for very little views, and one may speculate is that the reason why Global Surf Industries pulled the pin, because when I look at Global Surf Industries, I don't see any notification about Australia shutting down. My contact, I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I'm seeing her doing other work, but I don't see anything from GSI Australia saying, it's been a tough road, we're out, whatever. So maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe the numbers were so low, they said, well, the project's great, but he hasn't got the views, so we can't afford to give him the next board, so just kill the whole thing. That's kind of but that wouldn't explain how she's out of a job. Anyway, I don't know. Either way, I'm without a board sponsor, and I want to do whatever I can to step the content up to then approach a different board sponsor going forward, or kill the project entirely. That's not the surfing. I'm going to still be surfing, but kill the waiver day project. If this one fails, if this one doesn't work, that's how I'm feeling. Kill the project. Social surfing only. Maybe a couple of vlogs every now and then with a bit of surfing, but I don't know. There's only so long you can do something without a result, right? Will you be doing the northern break? Yes, Mindy, I'm going to be hitting the northern break of Culburra Beach again for this month for sure. I feel like I didn't really get it. It didn't work for me last month, which is a shame. And then Mindy asked about TikTok. TikTok. Wow. Whoa, shit. Mouse bump. Microphone bump. TikTok. I don't understand it. I don't get how you monetize it. I don't get why it's working so well. There's heaps of hot chicks on there, heaps of hot dudes. The content's sort of garbage. I don't have my head around Instagram to start with, Instagram stories, and there's a new one, and everybody's doing it, and I don't know. I'm left behind on that. I'm left behind. But Mindy says she's embarrassed to admit that she watches it. I get to see a little bit of it through Claudia, but yeah, I don't know. I'm lost. I don't have the answers to anything. Definitely not TikTok or Instagram. And I tell you now, I had the idea to do Instagram. Who were we watching? We watched Grimoire on DLive, right? And she said you should start doing little snippet clips of your wave a day on Instagram, linking back to the YouTube in your profile. Well, I got news. I did it for 5 videos. I did 5 videos, little snippets that point back to the YouTube channel. And what did I see happen? My follow account on Instagram disappeared, like dropped right down. It didn't recover. The videos got no views. There's no additional views or subscribers on YouTube. Nobody came in and said I came over here from Instagram. So I gave up again. There's my 4th attempt at Insta, and I'm over it. I understand some people make it work and brands work with them. It doesn't seem to work for me. And you could say, you only did 5 videos, dude. You got to go harder. Well, I'm going as hard as I can on one platform. I'm not going to stop what I do here to give that time to Insta when I don't see a result. That's the way I look at it. And the same with TikTok and whatever else comes after TikTok, right? Because wasn't there Periscope for a while as well? And yeah, I don't know. And I feel like I'm a little too old for that shit too, to be honest. Lots of cute animal clips. Okay, interesting. And Mindy asked, how do you make money on TikTok? And I got no idea. There's no ads. I don't know. I don't understand it. People are making millions on there though. Tim Oriscog up in the chit chat. G'day, Timski. Just trying to decide whether I should have a coffee to wake up, or maybe just disinfect it into my lungs. I've heard this can't. Is this for real? Did Trump really suggest you inhale disinfectant? I mean, that can't be for real, surely. The guy's a strange guy with some strange concepts, but that is scientifically pretty dangerous. I didn't read the reports, but I saw the headlines. Didn't he suggest ingesting disinfectant? Now that'll be on TikTok everywhere, won't it? All the kids will be doing it. Rochelle says, congrats, Gibbs. You're the best on here and DLive. Well, thank you. I disagree, but thank you. I'm not the best here at all. No way. I love my live streams, though. I love doing live streams. But, yeah, YouTube's a fickle one, a funny place. I feel like we're sailing on the very edge here of content. We're definitely sailing on the very edge of the ratings of where content goes. Mindy says, stick with coffee, Tim. Tim says, Mindy, you sure the disinfectant injection sounds interesting? I'd be happy to try it out on Trump. Music man! Whoop, 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 whoop! How you going, buddy? Over from DLive. Do you stream on others? Well, aside from DLive, no, it's just here, man. I find this enough, right? This once a week on YouTube is enough for me. Daily on DLive is... Look, daily on DLive is no problem. I could do 2 streams a day on DLive, no dramas. But weekly on YouTube, there is a slight difference in the setup. It's a very subtle difference. You wouldn't even notice it as a viewer, and this is what happened last week. This is what fell down last week. So I'll just give you a quick tech rundown. I stream through OBS. It's free software. There are some issues with it, which I've seemed to have navigated around pretty confidently, I think. It's taken a long time, but the way I've got my stream running and the encoding and the internet that I use and the software and the hardware, I think I've managed to navigate exactly how to use OBS. On a Mac too, like everyone's like, how are you doing that on a Mac, dude? You got... PC dudes can't even do what you're doing, and the software is meant for PC, and you're doing it on a Mac. Well, I got two key words for those crew that want to know. And if you are streaming on a Mac, or you want to start live streaming on a Mac, and you don't want to pay for software, because I paid for Wirecast, right? I paid $700 outright for Wirecast, and it was garbage, absolute garbage, half-baked, a quarter-baked is how I describe it. And I wouldn't recommend Mimo Live either. Do you know Mimo Live is $70 a month? I don't earn anywhere near that on YouTube to stream live. $70 a month. Anyway. 2 words. Loopback. That's one program. Loopback. That's one word as well. But Loopback. That's definitely something you 100% need. And Stream Deck. These are 2 things. If you're going to stream live on a Mac, using OBS, you need these two things. You need loopback for your system audio, and you need a Stream Deck to trigger scenes without looking at them. Basically, that's how I've run with it anyway. Now, the problem, and I want to explain this just kind of for the tech heads, here on, you can see this here on my DLive, on my laptop here. This is running OBS. Now, the same laptop with a slightly different profile runs my stream on DLive. The same setup, and same with Stream Deck. So you can have a profile on both. One switches one, the other switches the other. Now, a little tip with the Stream Deck, before you start streaming, swap whatever the profile you're running with on OBS to the default profile. Because if the Stream Deck does have a hissy fit, and it's happened once on my stream, it'll revert back to whatever the default profile is. And if you happen to have, like you might say, well, I stream daily on DLive, so I'll make that my default. Great, but if you happen to be doing that one day a week when you're streaming to YouTube and something goes wrong, the Stream Deck will bump back out to the DLive profile. Now, that what it did on my when it fell down with me that time, it did that exact thing, but my OBS was still open for the YouTube profile, and all of a sudden the Stream Deck grabbed all of the back end for the other profile, for DLive, and that's why you guys didn't hear any system audio, because when the donations came through last week, when the super chats came through, you guys didn't hear any of that because it was patching in the audio routing from Loopback, which is the other program I said you have to get, Loopback, which is system audio on a Mac. For some reason, you need a software to patch the audio through, whereas on a PC, you turn it on and you can just choose system audio as a source. But here on a Mac, it's different. Anyway, you have to have the profiles set to defaults and change them. So before I stream on YouTube, I go into the Stream Deck and change my default profile from DLive back to YouTube, and then I change the profile and the scene collection here in OBS, and you're good to go. That's what I didn't, well, that's what I hadn't done, or I hadn't learned to do before. And so what I'm saying is we get there. We learn we move with the times, and we progress through it. So that's why I'm not the best, Rochelle, but I appreciate you saying you're the best, but I'm definitely not the best. Stick with coffee, Rochelle. I'm catching up with the chit chat here, folks. Yeah, so there you go. Music Man, Mindy's channel, that's great, Rochelle. Music Man, can you report for any TV stations as their roving reporter and then buy your gear? I mean, I think that's a great pat on my back, like an accolade, saying that you think I could be suitable for that. But to be completely frank, TV can piss off. I think television's garbage. I don't want to be involved in promoting the concept of terrestrial TV with a roving reporter with a microphone. I'm bent on reporting for Gives a Minute right here on the scene. I think that stuff is better served through content creators, not mainstream paid for television networks. But I appreciate you suggesting it. They'd have to drive a massive truckload of money to my door and dump it on me and say, dude, we want you. And then maybe I'd consider it, because we want to talk about money buying happiness. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that next week on the stream. Does money buy happiness? Short answer, yes, but we'll talk about that another time. You call speakers monitors in Australia. Werebear, a monitor is different from a speaker. A monitor is a powered line-in source specifically used to monitor audio. Now, I'm not talking about audio from this mic and for the stream. I'm talking about mixing music. So making music, creating musical compositions. If you try to monitor that through speakers, you're not getting the true. It's like shooting in log without putting a LUT over the top, right? You've got the raw files in these cans, in these monitors, and then you apply the LUT over the top, which is your EQing and compression. You can't do that with these speakers and my HomePods. They're all built to sound cool and funky and like really enhance the bass and bring the temp. Well, that's not what I want to hear. I want to hear the mix that I've made, and then you can tweak it in your own system with pumping up the bass, putting your Beats headphones on and doing all the funky stuff. That's what we call monitors, and that's not just Australia. That's a global musical term. Chad Armstrong up in the chit chat. G'day, Chadsky. How you going, buddy? Good to see you, Chad. Woo, woo, woo. I love seeing you guys up in the chat. I know I take a while to get there, but we got time here. We got time, so let's Let's embrace everybody and let's all have a good time here. I hear there's going to be whiskey. Chad, there's going to be whiskey. We're opening up that Jack. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I've never had this before. Caleb up in the chit chat. Caleb Templeman Vlogs. Hey, Caleb! You probably could hear me, man. He's just up the coast a little ways from here. I'm at Culburra Beach and he's further up north. Caleb, how you going? Caleb, I got to tell you, man. Just be careful, dude. Just be careful, okay? I'm going to speculate here and you might not like this. So you might not like what I'm about to say to you. I feel like you might be spamming YouTube with comments. The same comment in multiple channels, because every single comment you put on my channel goes into my likely spam folder. And with all respect to you as a content creator as well, your comments are never about the content that I've got. They're always just generic, like great video or thumbs up or great stuff. And all I'm saying is it's very easy to get the wrong mindset that doing that is furthering your YouTube reach, when I can tell you from the other end of the spectrum, when I see that, it's always in my spam folder. Now, I always allow the comment, but if it's going into a spam folder on my channel, and I know you're technically not a spammer, but you're trying to increase your reach, I feel like YouTube would know that as well, and they're gonna suppress your reach. Now, I don't have any facts or figures except my experience with your comments, so just wanted to let you know, man, just a heads up to be wary of it. Olivia Mason, is this really live right now? G'day, Olivia. Yes, it is live right now, even though I am getting further behind in my chat. I'm trying to say hello to everybody, but Olivia, this is live. Would I have done that or that if it wasn't live? So tell me to do something in the chat. Ask me to do something in the chat and we'll see how live this is. There's also a delay though, a delay. Awesome, I caught it. Yeah, good to have you, Olivia. Good to have you up here. Mindy's channel just started 12 minutes ago. There you go, same time every week. That's the thing with YouTube. I do the same time weekly, but the stream gets longer by 1 minute every week. So this stream is 100 minutes. This is my 100th stream on YouTube. 100 streams. This is 100 minutes long. Next week, it'll be 101 minutes. That's how stupid I am. That's how crazy I am. I feel we're going to get this through to 12 hours at one point, and then everybody can jump in from time to time, a 12-hour stream, right? That's the maximum you can do on YouTube. You can do a longer form stream, but they'll cut it, they'll truncate it in the 12-hour block, and they'll remove anything before 12 hours. So I'm going to stick with 12. The active track on the drone was unfortunate. Yeah, it didn't work, dude. Didn't work. That's cool, Olivia says. Sometimes I'm working and can't open up YouTube. Understood. You mentioned moving to another board. Going to go longer or shorter? Definitely a short board. Definitely a short board, Chad. More performance. I feel like I've sort of got the skill level to move to a short form board. I feel like I do. I mean, there's certain things I still haven't achieved, like a proper barrel, even though I did kind of get one. I need to keep progressing, but I feel like a short form board will get me there faster. Terry Alexander, Terry up in the chit chat. Terry, good to see you. What? Nice to have you, Terry. Cheers. Olivia, crap, I typed the message and it was deleted. You deleted your own message? Really? Who did that? Jelly Duck up in the chit chat. Hello, Jelly Duck. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Nice to see you too, Jelly Duck. Good to have you, buddy. Nice to see you over from the Danny Black channel. What's it called now? Danny Black. Not the Danny Black. Where are we? Did the chat just move? The chat did not move. I've moved my mouse. Jelly Duck, what's up? What's up? It's good, man. I'm feeling good. Restyles. Hello, R.E. Styles. Good to see you, buddy. I don't know your handle before. Do I know your handle? Have you changed your handle? R.E. Styles. Good to see you, buddy. R.E. Styles. Restyles. That's cool, man. Same ship, different day. No way, Alfie! Oh, shit, Alfie. We're going to watch... Shyla Rose put up in my chat on DLive that you put up 2 videos. You're no longer with P&O, right? You're with a new ship. By the way, folks, if you don't know who Same Ship Different Day is, we're looking at Alfie, a freaking captain of a shipboat. Alfie, the captain of a shipboat. One of the big, you go on a cruise, this man drives the thing. And he's made 2 videos about COVID-19, and we were going to watch them on DLive, but we forgot. So I got a couple of things in the pipeline for today's stream and tomorrow, but maybe on Monday we'll go and check your channel out. Hope you're good, man. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. I'm still following your content, and it's always great. Stay strong. Thanks, Alfie. Cheers, man. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. That's cool. Same ship, different day. Restyles, like I said, don't be a sucker. Okay, I'm not sure who that's to, Restyles. Terry Alexander, another 2 weeks of no work. Oh, so you're off work still. Okay. Happy Canadian up in the chit chat. Yeah, eh? Happy Canadian. How do you do, man? Good to see you, buddy. Mindy's chat. Jeffrey, how's things, mate? Music Man, I found a mixed case of booze, 10 years old. Someone opened a few different kinds of whiskeys. Really? What'd you get in there, Music Man? I'm interested to see what you found in there. That'd be really interesting. Take a photo of it. Show me what you got, man. Put it up on my Discord. I'll have a look. Doing quite all right here. Tim says, Happy Canadian. Yum, Music Man. The Racing Gamer, good game on mod Mindy. Yeah, Mindy, totally. Totally Mindy needs to be modded. Oh, she's already, I mean, we modded her ages ago, but did you mod? Did you do some modding there, Mindy? I didn't even see it. That's how good you are. Chad Armstrong, nice. I'm also on a GSI board. Was hoping to get more surfing in this year so I could progress shorter as well, but then the beach is closed. Chad, I feel you, man. I feel you. Now, I am at the bottom of the chat there, which is great. I'm going to bring it up on screen for everybody to follow along with. You might say, dude, you spend a lot of time doing that, but that's the point of a live stream. We want to engage the chat. Without a chat, this is just another vlog, right? So this is the point of this, is to make this live and to have it interactive. I've got to have dinner now, Racing Gamer says. Might pop in later for the last couple of minutes if I eat fast enough. No worries, Racing Gamer. I appreciate you swinging in whenever you can, dude. Like I said, we're moving into longer format streams here. So I'm going to be here for 100 minutes today, and then 101 minutes the next week, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you know that this stream started already 30 minutes ago, and it will start again next week, same time. And basically the progression will be that I'll be live for an entire day eventually as we move through. That said, today I want to open that jack, so we're going to get to that. But to get us to the jack, you know what we're going to do here, folks? A slightly random daily song, YouTube style.
Welcome back to the Slightly Random Daily Song! Can you imagine what today's Slightly Random Daily Song will be? Tracer! You know, I got a lot of Tracer shirts. This one's my favorite, actually. This is the El Pistolero album cover shirt. And consequently, I have the album here with me right now. El Pistolero from 2013. This is a very, very cool record from Tracer. A lot of bangers on here. In fact, there's no duds. The whole thing's a banger. We've talked about the recording process before here on the stream. We don't want to go back into that this time. The track I want to play for you, though, is the second last track, and it forms somewhat of a collective of tracks. You see, this album's more of a Mexican theme, right? This whole record is themed around the Desperado film, and I don't want to speak on Mike's behalf, but you can read about that in interviews, and you can clearly see, right? Mexican style, Mexican themes. On this record, there are 4 songs that form an overriding arch, a story arch. Story arc? There's 4 songs that form something. Those songs, in brackets, at the end of each of those songs is the Suit del Desperado Parts 1, Parts 2, Parts 3, and Parts 4. You can see that there on the back. And I want to play for you Part 4 of the Suit del Desperados. And the track we're going to play is called Until the War is Won. A very interesting track from Tracer. Also, I don't think I've ever heard that one live. And I've seen a lot of live Tracer shows. I don't think that's ever been played live. That's not the point right now. We're going to play the record version. So, let's pop you down. I'll put this down carefully. Don't want to get sand on my vinyl. I'll pop you guys down somewhere. Get an angel of the beach here like this. How how's that looking? Is that a good angel for you? Is that gonna be good? You can see the ocean. I hope you enjoy Suit del Desperado Part 4, also known as Until the War is Won, from Tracer, from their 2013 record, El Pistolero! What do you think, folks? Until the War is Won, from Tracer, from El Pistolero. That is Suit del Desperado Part 4. The other parts to the suit include the title track El Pistolero at track 1. Then you skip down to track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got the ballad of El Pistolero, that's Suit del Desperado Part 2. Go down to the track after, Santa Cecilia. That is Suit del Desperado Part 3, and Part 4, the second last track on the record, Until the War is Won. I highly, highly encourage you to seek out this album, You may or may not be able to find that on vinyl anymore. You won't be able to buy this t-shirt. Oh, that fell down. Oh, you definitely won't be able to get this t-shirt again because this t-shirt came out especially with the vinyl release only. Good luck with that. And now while I sit down and listen to the entire album on CD because I don't actually own a record player, you guys can go back to the live stream.
Oh shit! Whoopsie! You caught me, folks. Tracer, Until the War is Won, the YouTube version. Now, unfortunately, you know the deal here on YouTube. Copyright is rampant, and we've had discussions about this in the past. The only way I can show you the song is by not showing you the song. I can then tell you to go and check the song out. That'd be my recommendation. Go to Spotify, type in Until the War is Won from Tracer and have a listen. That way everyone's happy. At least I can bring the music towards you. If I can't give you the music in its entirety, at least I can bring you the concept of the music. So it's still a win-win, but in my mind, I think YouTube should pay the record labels so that we can play music that's already copyrighted. So in a sense, someone has to earn royalties from copyrighted material. I'm not denying that. But YouTube, as big as they are, they should pay the rights holders so that we, as the content creators, can use that. Just like you would do if I wanted to play that and I had to pay the rights holders, which would be Mascot label, right? I'd have to pay them. Well, YouTube should navigate that on our behalf. Hey, they take enough of our cut, so, right? Anyway, that's a discussion for another time. But in the chit chat, back up there, Racing Gamer, gotta have dinner. So Racing Gamer, I purchased the GoPro Hero 7. Oh, happy Canadian, yes, dude. The Hero 7. Oh, crap. Kangaroo biting my ankle. The Hero 7, great camera. You are gonna love it. The hyper smooth on that, the stability is just redonkulous. I've never seen anything as good as that for surfing. Again, my only concern with the GoPros, the bitrate is woeful. Now, I shoot everything in 150 megabits on my GH5. In fact, right now it's at 400 megabits because I'm not shooting it. I'm just sending the signal. 400 megabits out. GoPro's pushing between 70 to 90 megabits. I think they've bumped it up to 100 in the Hero 8, but I think the Hero 7 is only about 90, 95, 96 megabits a second. What this means, when you're compressing a file down, they sacrifice pixels. So you can still shoot 4K, but in fast-moving content such as surfing or shooting outside a moving vehicle, the content changes literally every frame. So if you're shooting 4K 60, right, or 1080 120 frames a second, that content is changing. But the bitrate determines how often you see those changes. So if you put a smaller bitrate and they bump the bitrate right down when you bump it up to 120, then you don't get every pixel changing. And that's why you see a bit of blur, a bit of motion blur. I've always said that's the wrong thing for GoPros, especially with an action camera. I would rather see 4K 30 and not 4K 60 and have a bitrate of, say, 150. But anyway, it's rad. It's so rad if they could just work on that bitrate. And the microphones, I got a lot of tweaking I do on my microphones on the GoPros in post, but yeah, we're talking about an underwater freaking camera, dude. What do you want? You want some kind of unknown rocket science that fixes the audio? I don't know. I don't know what the solution is there, but it's not good. But it is still an underwater camera recording audio as you come out of the water. So what can you... Yeah. Happy Canadian, it feels bittersweet to retire my Samsung for shooting my vlogs. Oh, you're using the GoPro for your vlogs. Ooh. Chicken Little. Hello, Chicken Little. Jeffrey, could I give you a tip, man? I would not vlog on a GoPro. You can't adjust the depth of field. The bitrate's lousy. I don't know. If it was me, I would stick with the Samsung and use the GoPro for anything water-related, action style. Angles you can't get the Samsung in. You want to put it under a car with the wheel moving. That's my thoughts anyway. Hope you don't get a copyright claim from someone claiming to own the rights to the passing train sound. Well, that has happened. And it's very strange that that happened once in the past, because I'm using free sounds from Final Cut Pro for that. It did happen, and I argued it, and it got removed. So this track would have been awesome live, Paul says. Paul, you nutter. Hey, Paul, Tim says, this show would have been great if it were live. Lol. It's fake. He's out surfing right now. I also have the Canon 80D for vlogs. It's only for action. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'd be doing, Happy Canadian. I'd be rocking the 80D for the vlogs and the Hero 7 for the action stuff. Folks, let us open the jack, right? Now, what am I talking about here? Every 10 streams here on the Gives a Minute YouTube channel, we have a Jack Daniels special bottle. It's a bottle that we've never had before, a bottle that we'll never have again. And it's opened here every 10 weeks. There's plenty of products in the Jack Daniels range that we can go through. We will never see this one again. To those people that are here specifically for the Jack Daniels content, if you're only here to see the Jack Daniels opening and tasting and you wonder what we've done in the past, well, this is the 10th stream. This is the 10th block, 100th stream. In the chat, I'm putting links right now to every single, a timestamped link to every single Jack that we've opened up on the stream, starting way back when on the first stream, right? So I'd like you, if you wanted to see that, those links are there permanently for you. If you click those links after this stream, it'll take you to a timestamp in those previous streams where you will see the opening of the Jack. That's important to know that's going in there right now. We got 1907. That was the first. That's my favorite Jack, 1907, the white label, only available in Australia. That's the first one we did. Tennessee Fire. That's beautiful too. The cinnamony. Ooh, the cinnamon. I want to get some more of that. Legacy Edition #1. A great throwback to yesteryear on the Jack Daniels range, the Legacy Edition. #2 is out now too, by the way. Tennessee Honey. That's a banger, isn't it? The honey liqueur. Wow. I've actually got some honey chocolate to review, and I'm going to get a bottle of honey to compare off, right? Yeah, but that's a great one too. And Old No. 7 1 liter. Now, I said that we're never going to repeat bottles. So that's the 1 liter version of what you call old regulation, or what I call regulation Jack Daniels, the black label, right? That's a 1 liter bottle. I'm being specific about this. We're never going to have a 1 liter bottle of Jack on the stream again. We've had it. And following along there, we have had a 50ml bottle of Old No. 7, right? You hear what I'm saying? We're never going to have a 1 liter. We're never going to have a 50ml again. We've had Red Dog Saloon. Now that's a great one too. Red Dog Saloon. And we've had Goose's Bold Selection. That was beautiful. Goose's Bold Selection from last year. Today, though, we've got a real banger here, folks. This, oh my lord, Tennessee Rested Rye. Now, this is the second in a batch. Apparently, there's going to be 3 batches of this. Now, this one here, the second batch. So I missed out on the first batch. This is the second batch of this product. It was available in the USA only back in 2013. So this one long since gone. You may be able to find it yourself, but long gone, long off the market. Like I said, batch number 2 in a series of 3. Now, a Tennessee Rye. So this is different to the regular mash that they use in Old No. 7. Different because it uses rye to make this, right? They've got rye in here. What's the percentage? 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% barley. This is different to what you would normally expect with Jack Daniels. And it's also, be careful, this is not replacing the Tennessee Rye that they have. That's a product on the market which you can go and buy anytime you want, a Tennessee Rye. This is the rested rye. This is a 2-year rested rye. Now, what does that mean? It means it's been aged for 2 years, sitting in those barrels for 2 years. Whereas the regular Tennessee Rye, you know, the bottles, that doesn't get rested. That gets just produced willy-nilly whenever they think it's ready to go. Whereas this gets a 2-year wait. Now, it's also got a little dongle on the top there. Kind of nice little something or other. I don't know what they call that. Vanilla, caramel, and spice. Apparently, that's what we're supposed to see or taste here. Vanilla, caramel, and spice. Like I said, this is not meant to replace regular Tennessee rye, but it is a collector's item, and it's an exclusive, and it's probably very difficult to find these days. 40% alcohol by volume. So we're looking at the same volume as regular Jack, 40%. And I have to say again, right now at this juncture, Sin Master on DLive, Sin's Fun Factory here on YouTube, a big thanks for you donating so much into my Jack Behind Me fund to enable me to purchase this. Thank you so much, dude. Adrian Banks, Scotty Ventures, Benny12C, and Charla Rose, you guys all also contributed to this. So, and this was a while back, because you know how these sit here for 10 weeks. This has been sitting there for quite a while, right? So this goes back a fair ways. But Sin Master, that's kind of the first we saw you in my stream, and I appreciate you, man. I thank you. I'm going to open this, we're going to sample it, and it's going to be thanks to you. So let's do this now. I can't handle it. I can't handle it any longer, folks. I can't handle it. Let's open it. Beautiful. Oh, wow. This is, for those wondering, this is bottle number 6,781. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's getting closer. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it, folks. I can feel it opening up. I can feel it getting closer. Let's get this tag all the way down here. I kind of did that wrong. Okay. Well. Oh, there we go. That's what I should have done before. Here we go, folks. Rested Rye. 2-year Rested Rye. Batch number 2. You see it here. Batch number 2. Am I on the right side? Here. Batch number 2. Let's do it. Oh, it didn't pop. It went... I gave you a cheers. Oh, holy moly. Well, it's totally sweet. I don't know what I expected. I don't know what I expected from rye, but there's definitely vanilla in there. I smell caramel. Did it say caramel? Yeah, it does. Sorry. Okay, vanilla caramel. I got the vanilla straight away and the caramel. Or caramel if you're in America. There's caramel in here. Hey, caramel, get out of there. Caramel, come back out of there. It looks so refreshing. Happy Canadian. Have you had this, dude? Has anybody had this in the chat? Has anybody had Rested Rye? 2-year Rested Rye. There's totally caramel in there. And vanilla. I've been told you're supposed to breathe in and open your gob. I find that difficult to do. Breathe in and open your gob at the same time. It's kind of funny. You do get a bit of a taste in your mouth. Dude. That smells so rad. All right. I can't handle it any longer. Let's taste some, right? Rested Rye. 2-year Rested Rye from Jack Daniels. Folks, every 10 weeks, this is what we do. Opening up a special bottle of Jack. This is very, very pleasurable. It's early in the morning for me. I don't care. This is the thing that we do. What is it now? It's not even 10 a.m. for me. Bottoms up for 10 a.m. Jack. Ooh. Wow, that's actually got a really bitter aftertaste. What the? Oh, yeah, I'm not really digging that. I love the smell. Makes me want to try some. I don't even drink whiskey, Mindy says. That means my reviews are working for you. Good. That smells way better than it tastes. Holy shit. It's... I don't know what to say. It's got like a tart, tangy. Yeah, that's not that great. Wow, that's not that great at all. It's a shame because it smells so heavenly. I don't know what I'm like. Am I? I'm disappointed. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed here. Now, it also must be said, I've never had a rye whiskey. I've never had Tennessee rye from Jack Daniel's, so I can't compare this to anything. I can compare it to Single Barrel Select, but that's not what this is. This is a Tennessee rye, a rested rye. And if I was to say, you know, would you go for this again? No, I wouldn't. I mean, and here's the thing. On the D-Live stream, we're going to try this again this afternoon, but we're going to try it with Coke, right? Mixing it down with Coke. I won't do that here because that's not the point. We just do it neat. But at this point, I would not suggest this is a great one. I would suggest this is an exclusive bottle. It's an expensive bottle, and it smells better than it tastes. Yeah, that's weird. It's Canadian says I'm so jealous. I mean, I'm really thrilled. I'm thrilled to have this, and I'm thrilled to be here reviewing it for you. And I'm thrilled for the givers, Sin Master, Adrian Banks, Scotty Ventures, Benny 12C, and Charlotte Rose that enabled this. But if I'm being brutally honest, this is a very aside from the forget the taste. If you smell it, you'll be like, oh, that's the smell of Jack, right? That's the beautiful smell of Jack. It's got that caramelly, vanilla-y. But then when you taste it, it's like either the rye is really, really messing this out, like 70% rye, yeah. So it's really messing it up, like changing it dramatically to the point where the aftertaste is like not that pleasant. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I mean, I'm honored and I'm thrilled, but I'm not really digging it. Maybe it'll go better with Coke, right? Maybe we'll have a great time with this, mixing it with Coke, and we will do that, and we'll have a great time anyway. But yeah, I would not suggest this would be one that you would really want to hunt down, given the price, given the exclusivity of it, and how it's gone from the market. I wouldn't suggest going and spending big to find one. If you could get a taster and you could get someone's bottle to send you a certain portion of it, great. But to find the whole bottle and pay for it, yeah, I don't know. Collector's item only is what I'd suggest. Now, what's the chat saying? Paul, petrol smells better than it tastes. I mean, there's that to be said too. Petrol, yeah, I don't mind the smell of petroleum, but you don't drink it. I mean, I don't know if you've drank it. I've never drank it, but yeah, that's a good point. Petrol smells better than it tastes. This smells really, really nice, but is it nice? It is nice, but the aftertaste. Yeah. Interesting. Gross, Paul, says Mindy. Happy Canadian. Hey, guys, got to go make some food. Have a great rest of the stream. No worries, Happy Canadian. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for being here. We got a couple of AMAs. I think there's an AMA from you in there as well. We'll get to that now, but I understand you got a split. No sweat, dude. Let's go across and have a look at the AMA, because not only is a 10th stream an opening of a Jack, it's also an Ask Me Anything, any question goes. So we got a few questions here to answer right now. Let's have a look. First one from Terry Alexander, right there in the chit chat. Thank you, Terry, for being the first person to ask the question. How did you get interested in surfing? So the thing with surfing, thank you for the question, by the way. Good question. The thing with surfing is that as an Australian, you kind of pop out of the womb on a surfboard, more or less. Most everybody either knows the beach, can navigate through the ocean, can walk on the sand, or body surf a wave. And so I'm no exception. As a kid, all of our holidays, ironically, not all of them, a lot of our holidays with the family were ironically down here. It's kind of strange. We actually holidayed once as a family in a place called Myola, which is just up the road from here. We've been back there a few times, just have a look at it. It's kind of a trip. So I'm no stranger to the ocean. Around about 11 years of age, my brother got a skateboard. Sorry, when I was about 11, my brother he got a skateboard earlier, but it was about 11 when I started riding. I think I rode his skateboard for a little while, and then I got my own skateboard from Emerald Surf City. Surfing there, going to a surf store to get a skateboard. And skateboarding was more of a thing for me. So the skateboarding was because we didn't really live near a beach. We weren't far from a beach, 12 k's to the nearest beach is not far at all, but skateboarding was way more accessible for me. And so I moved hardcore into skateboarding, and I pursued it, and I enjoyed it, and met skateboarders and met a crew, and became involved in skateboarding. Surfing was always like something that I did if I could. By the way, I only ever owned one surfboard. My brother won a surfboard on a Saturday morning cartoon show. Anybody in Australia remember Harry and Ralph? My brother won a surfboard on that show. And so we took that to, holidays, and we'd get out into the water and faff around trying to catch waves. And they were very good at it. But as a skateboarder, I could get up on a board. Never really surfed never really put any time into it. Just happened to be, we're on a holiday and there's a wave there, I'll go and try to surf it. Can't go skateboarding, there's no skate park, or skate parks didn't exist. There's no curb to Slappy, or there's no downhill or whatever. So surfing was just something that sort of burrowed in the background for me. It wasn't until I got a bit older that I actually bought a fiberglass surfboard and kept it, in my car, and whenever we were hanging out with the boys and down the coast, again, ironically down here, we tried to go surfing, and I sucked, but at least I tried. And then I realized that, fast forward a lot longer in life, and skateboarding has to sort of be put on the back burner for me. I'm getting too old to be skateboarding. I copped a few injuries. I decided at that point that I'm going to either completely stop anything like any activity like this and just get fat, which is what happens if you don't exercise, or I'm going to use the beach that's right here and try to get better at surfing. It's something that I've always known I can do, but I've never been able to do. So why don't I dedicate some time to getting better at surfing? And the idea was that I could monetize this content through my YouTube channel. I never thought, if you asked me what you thought your channel would be 3 years ago, there's no way I would have even thought that there'd be surfing on the channel. So that's kind of how I got interested in surfing, if you like, in terms of a wave a day and in terms of the channel. And getting the brands behind me as well, the branded deals, that was beautiful because it meant that I could go ahead and make the content and there'd be an incentive to make the content. Now that I've lost the brand deal with Global Surf Industries, I'm a little bit... My steam has been ironed. What? I've lost a bit of steam. I still love the sport and I still love the concept, but I was really enjoying the progress I was making through their board range. I only got through 2. Whining, whinging, woe is me. Shut up, dude. You got a surfboard. You got 2 surfboards, 3, including the one that they sent back. 3 surfboards for nothing, and you're not even... You were a sponsored surfer, right? Can you fathom that? I skateboarded for my entire life, and I did pick up a few what's called on the flow, but I never got a full sponsorship. And I start surfing, and I get sponsored for surfing. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying where I'm at. See, Jeff, how about an update on the neighbor's burnt down house? Okay, I could give you an update on that. They've completely demolished the whole house, aside from the section. There's a little section that didn't burn down, and they kept that. It's almost like a granny flat. They kept that as it is, and right now the house is just sitting. The slab of concrete is just sitting there, like all black and burnt. But the house has been completely removed, so it's basically a building site now. So that's the only update I've got for that, Paul. But I guess they're planning the new build. Sass up in the chit chat. Hello, Sass. How you going? We're drinking Jack here on the stream. Yeah, good to see you, Sass. And Mindy says hi, Sass. This is not the greatest Jack, though. I can tell you now. Yeah, not the greatest. If you wanted to know and you didn't see it, we opened up this on the stream. This is Rested Rye, Tennessee Rested Rye from Jack Daniels, 2-year Rested Rye, and. Yeah, having a difficult time recommending it, to be honest. BC Razor! Hey, Benon, I love Wave a Day stuff, and I've never been into surfing, but I love the Wave a Day content. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. A lot of people are saying that, and I can see the idea of it's good. It does take a lot of work for me to produce, but the idea is good, and we'll keep at it. But there might have to be some changes, but we'll see. But Terry, I hope that answered your question, and thank you for popping it in the question section there on the comments field on that daily vlog. The next question is from Mindy, Mindy's channel. Thank you, Mindy, for popping the question in. She says, how's the mum doing? How is your mum doing? How is Portia and Claudia? Oh, sorry, I'm reading it all wrong here. I was going to answer each question, or I'll read the whole thing. How is your mum doing? How is Claudia and Pockmorn? Are they still going to school? What is the fin situation? Did you buy new ones? Is the battery issue with Stephen the only issue? Do you still use electric skateboard? Whole series of questions there. Thank you, Mindy, for asking them. Mum is doing not so great. She's had some issues, some inner, let's say some downstairs issues, some bowel issues. I think she might have some strain of COVID-19, a weird strain, because the symptoms that she's suggesting she's got, laying in bed, feeling lethargic, terrible bowel syndrome, and no hunger. Now, I said to her, well, even if you do have a portion or a section or whatever, like a strain of COVID-19, if you went and got checked and they came back positive, all they would say is get rest. Right? There's no cure for this shit. So my advice is stay here, continue to rest up. But the moment you start to have breathing issues, if anything starts going down with your lungs, we take you to the hospital. So that's where we're at. And this has been now ongoing this is the third day. Thank you for asking though, Mindy. It's a very, very nice of you to ask. What's your favorite Jack Daniels? Easy answer, the 1907. 1907 is a brand or a version of Jack that's only available in Australia. It's got a white label. It's a less alcohol content. It's 37% by volume. It's a sweeter Jack than regulation Old Number 7. It basically is Old Number 7, just tailored down a little bit and sweeter. I love it. That's my favorite Jack. And stroke of luck, oddly enough, it's super cheap here in Australia. Like regulation Jack is like $45 a bottle. 1907 is like $37. I've seen it for $33, which is still expensive, but that's cheap for Australia. Hope she gets better soon. Thanks, Mindy. Yeah, cheers. So the second part of your question, how's Claudia and Pockmorn? Well, I did see them up there in Sydney, up in the Shire when we were doing the house sitting, and I guess they're just enjoying the weird schooling situation they've got. One of your questions is about school. Are they still going to school? Well, they're actually on what we call Easter holidays here in Australia. I think that finishes up either this week, or they either go back on Monday or they go back the week after. But the schools are still open in Australia. So we haven't shut our schools. The message is schools are remaining open. Don't send your kids to school. As weird as that sounds, that's the message. Schools remain open. Don't send your kids to school. That's exactly the message. But if you have to send your kids, the schools are open. If you are engaged in what's called essential work, send your kids to school and go to do your essential work. And then not long after that announcement came out, the Prime Minister said anyone with a job is considered an essential worker. So there's a lot of conflicting messages there, but dissect that how you will. But as far as schools, they're open. Don't send your kids to school. So they've been homeschooled for so long now, or since this kind of kicked off in Australia. What is the fin situation? Did you buy new ones? I did not buy new ones. I'm bummed out that I lost a glass fin, but it happens. And again, I can't really complain. These were supplied to me. I didn't pay for them to begin with. I was reviewing them. I lost one, and I was thinking I should replace the set and have a spare lot, and I will eventually. I'm going to do that. This is what I would like to do. I'd like to go back to using the plastic fins, which come shipped with the board I had. And then when I eventually get a new sponsor, if I can navigate a new sponsor, I'll get a new set of fins at that point as well. A new board, a new set of fins. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Get out of there, mosquito. Is the battery issue with Stevan the only issue? Yeah, mechanically it's fine. There's some issues with the shock absorbers. There's been a loud clunk, which has been there the whole time. It's nothing. They call it a skid plate or a safety plate underneath the van, so rocks don't fly up and hit the essentials. And I think that's loose because whenever you go around a corner, there's like an almighty thud. But aside from that, the battery drain is the only issue. And look, if we can progress the IRL content, which I got the notification this morning, the Live View Solo is on its way. It's in Australia. It's being shipped domestically. If we can make the IRL content in the next 2 years, and we can push that as far as we can, I feel like we won't need Stevan for that long. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for asking about Stevan. Do you still use electric skateboard? I actually sold my electric skateboard, the Evolve Bamboo GT, ages ago. I think the Evolve brand is terrible. I think their boards are really, really sketchy. I hated the feeling that I was riding an electric skateboard and any moment that thing could just jam its brakes on and fly me off. Now, that's coming from a skateboarder. I've been skateboarding since I was 11 and vert skating, so I know how to ride a skateboard. I hated the feeling that I was slightly out of control. I loved the idea of, and when I used it mainly for downhills and cruising, and then I'd inject a little bit of gas and just cruise along a bit further, but I'd never use it to chug up hills and, you know, go and get the shopping and carry a carton of beers and stuff, because I just did not have any... I had no confidence in the reliability of it, and I kept seeing people getting gravel rash, eating shit just because of the remote. The remote would cut out, and then the thing would just jam up. And I was like, I've already busted my elbow up skateboarding, busted my arms up skateboarding through my own ability. And if I'm going to ride a skateboard, I'm not going to have the electrics of it cause me to stuff up and break an arm again. Hell no. I sold that ages ago. That's at least 2 years. Oh. Yeah, at least a year and a half ago. Have you ever tried Mitch's Berber? Loving the flavor with Coke, slightly stronger at 45%. I have never heard of it. Never seen it, BC Razor. Wasn't Onion Cabbage a teacher? Homeschooling solved. Funnily enough, that's a good question, Paul. My sister has, I think she's, her teaching license, you got to have a license or something. What do you call it? It's passed, so she hasn't taught for so long. She has to go and do a refresher to prove she is a teacher or something. What's the term? I don't know what the term is. But good point. She's always homeschooling, right? She's been homeschooling the kids regardless of whether there's been COVID-19 or not. Mindy, thank you for those questions. I appreciate you asking them. Next up, we have Caleb Wheeler 1 asked, would you ever be interested in playing games for your viewers? Now, that is something that we've discussed here a lot on the stream, and the ultimate conclusion is I'm not going to do it. The reason I'm not doing it is because of the tech being Stadia from Google. Stadia launched and they had this great concept where you can play games on your YouTube channel and then your subscribers get a notification. Hey, Gibbs a Minute is playing Glassy McGlass Waterson. Do you want to join him in the game? And you would get literally a notification would go out to my YouTube subscribers that I'm playing a game, and you could click a button and you'd go into a waiting list to join me in the game live. And I was like, wow, that's freaking awesome. That's gold. I want that. If I'm going to do any gaming, that's how I want to do it. That's going to engage the community. I was picturing doing 2 nights a week gaming content. You know, Tuesdays and Thursdays we do games. And when Stadia launched, that concept is completely gone. Nobody's mentioned that. It's like that part of it doesn't even exist. Whereas that was a huge pitch in their initial launch. You want to play games? You want to engage your audience? Here's where we're going to do it with Stadia. And it's almost like they removed it in its entirety from the concept of Stadia. Stadia is out there. It's not very good, but people are playing it. People are using it. That concept of it being a YouTuber, gone. So I made a decision to not use it, and I'm never going to use it. And that's unfortunate because I was looking at becoming a gamer as a 44-year-old. I was thinking, is it too late to start gaming as a 44-year-old? And that Stadia and that concept of engaging my YouTube audience was going to be how I did it. And that ain't happening now. Unfortunately. Good question, Caleb Wheeler. Are you in the chat though, Caleb? I don't think I saw you up there. I don't think I see you up there. Anyway, that's a great question from Caleb. Thank you very much. Mindy asked another channel, do you ever snorkel just for fun? All of my snorkeling is fun. But I see what you're saying. Is that if I'm not doing a review, would I go for a snorkel? Absolutely. Down here at Jarvis Bay, there are some great snorkel places. So there's a couple of things at play there. Only a certain time of the year is it good for it. And generally, not always, but generally, that's the time when I get the reviews to do. So my focus is then do the review. But often I'll be out there, and more than likely I'll take the power breather from Amio. That's my go-to snorkel concept. If I'm doing a review and I'm down at a great spot, and I've finished the review and the sun's out and it's beautiful, I'll grab the power breather, and what I'll do, and this might not be as legit as it could be, but I'll go out and I'll do some B-roll with the GoPros using the power breather, just because it's much easier to shoot using the power breather. The power breather is a godsend, right? Like first of all, you can equalize by grabbing your nose. Yeah, and I find two hands, I can go around, and just much better to get the B-roll. But in terms of like going somewhere just for a snorkel, I've done it with the kids. You know, they like to go out and do it. If I was up north in warmer waters where it was warm all year round, or then again you got the Irukandji, you can't snorkel all year round up north. Places like Vanuatu and the Pacific Islands, I was snorkeling even without reviews. I was out there every day snorkeling. It's just beautiful. What time of the year is good for Java space snorkeling? So you've kind of spelled it wrong, but I see what you're saying. It's Jervis. It's spelled Jervis, but it's said Jarvis Bay. So you're looking at the warmer months. You're looking at, say, between January, well, technically December, January, February, but I find the late January, early February the best time to be out there. The water, the air temperature's really hot because it's summer, and the water temperature is extremely warm because you're in a bay, so you got pretty shallow areas. BC Razor, I've worked in the games industry, and most things for online start with good intentions, but it's just too difficult to implement correctly, or at least good enough to release. Yeah, I mean, do you know about that release? Do you know any inside info about what happened there? Because you watched the keynote address about Stadia with the white background and the dude with the bald head talking about it, and that was a big part of that presentation, was how to play online games with your YouTube crew. And then it just kind of like, nobody said anything, nobody asked about it, there's no videos about it, nobody's questioning it. It's really weird. It's like someone saying, we're going to release a new camera, it's called the Jack Daniels camera, and it's going to have 8K 60, and then when the camera comes out it does 4K 30, and nobody says, what about that 8K 60 you said? What happened to that? It's like, it's just not there. I don't know. Maybe I should do some more research in it, but I know it's gone. I know it never came out. Again, I'm not saying Stadia didn't come out. Stadia came out. It's not that great from what I understand, but the concept of being able to play Stadia through your YouTube channel with your audience, that did not come out. Great question though, Mindy. Next question is from Ali Mahoon. Ali was up in the chat earlier. I don't know if Ali's still here. What do you work? Now, I guess that's poor English for what do I do for work. So typically I'm a photographer. As the years have moved on, I've done less and less photography work, and I've relied more and more on my online presence to earn the income that I would have earned doing photo shoots. That's not to say I don't do photo shoots anymore. I do take on particular work. You know what happened with the last gig that I did, the lens issue. That's still being resolved, by the way. Latest thing is that they're going to pay a portion of it. It's kind of strange. They said, yeah, go and get it fixed. Now they're saying, because the fee, the cost is $1,800, they're saying, oh, we'll pay a portion of it. And I'm like, it's already been fixed. You told me to get it fixed. Now you're saying you're not going to pay for it because it's higher than you thought. This is a $3,000 lens here. You're lucky I'm not just saying buy me a new lens. Sass, do you struggle to come up with content ideas? If so, what do you do to work through that? Do you mean for live streams? I find live to be pretty straightforward, but content in terms of YouTube content, I'm never really chasing the content like that. I'm just creating what I want to create. I'm just gonna have a swig here of this Tennessee Rye. It's gonna be better with Coke. Yeah, I'm never chasing the views or the numbers on YouTube. Now, maybe I should be. I don't know. My channel's kind of dead, right? Like, my views are low. I still get views on old videos, though. That's kind of interesting. I still get comments on old videos, which is kind of rewarding and refreshing. In fact, during COVID-19, my views have been way up. So there's that, but I don't know. Yeah. In terms of the live stream, I don't have a problem getting ideas. In fact, I've got too many ideas. Let's move on to the next question from Ali that was from Ali. Thank you, Ali, for the question. The next question is from Paul S. Now, Paul is up in the chit chat. G'day, Paul. Wasn't Onion Cabbage a teacher? Yeah, that's Paul. So why don't you have a go at spearfishing? Interesting. I would do spearfishing for sure. I haven't ever done it, and I would certainly do it for the sake of catching and eating fish. Yeah, I'm not against it. Maybe I will do it when we start doing missions with Stevan, when we do IRL content. I'll set up and go out and spearfish. Maybe, I don't know. Could I live stream that? I don't know. Chill Outdoors does. He live streams snorkeling, and yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything against spearfishing. I just never really been into it. My friends used to do it when we were younger, oddly enough. Danilo and Greenie used to go spearfishing a lot. Have you ever looked at doing or starting a reaction channel to music and stuff? I mean, I could. I haven't. I'm not going to start a new channel. Hell no. I would never start a new channel, but I would do a weekly series reacting to. I mean, that's kind of like a trend, isn't it, on YouTube? I kind of not really keen to chase trends like that, but I understand that's popping off. I love watching your reaction to videos on DLive. Mindy, thank you. I mean, I love doing DLive. I love sitting down and watching content and critiquing it, right? And criticizing it and coming up with ways things could be better. Could that work as a YouTube video that's then searchable? Yes, possibly. Would I want to make that my YouTube content? Probably not. Not so much. I think my content on YouTube, it's naturally dictating itself towards more IRL content, surfing. You know, I need to get a babe. I need to get a babe in the content. That's clear, right? I'm on the coast. I need to have a bikini-clad woman in my content, and that's how the content's going to sell. I know that. And that's... Look at any of the big channels, right? They've all got bikini women in their content. Terry Alexander, do you ever go to New Zealand? I hear it's changed. I've been to New Zealand. The most recently I was over there was about 3 years back now. And I love it. I love NZ. Got to get back over there. In fact, that's a goal, to take IRL over to NZ as well as Australia. BC Razor. Nah, I used to work for Sony PlayStation when that bald head person worked for them before Google, but since moving away from games industry, I've not heard much interest. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, fair call. Great question there, Paul. Like I said, nothing against spearfishing, but thank you for asking the question. Next up, we have a question from Ibrahim Slacks. Now, this is a 3-pointer. That's not a question, that's a statement. But the question is, what's the biggest wave you've ever surfed? Not very big, but I mean, I duck dived under 3 almighty mummers once in a wave a day. I guess that would have been probably a 2.4 meter swell, maybe 2.6 meter swell. So the wave that I got that day would have been probably just on 2 meters. So not a huge surf, not a huge swell by any means, but really big for me. I don't mind the big wave. Like I'll take a big wave, but on a full tide, when the swell's big, the wave breaks further out and rolls longer in. On a low tide with a big swell, the wave sucks up on the sand and just thumps down, right? And I'm not skilled to pull into that kind of a barrel, but I'll take that wave on a full tide from out back and come carving in. I love that shit. Felicia. I mean, there's a good example, right? My videos featuring Felicia in a bikini did rate better. Of course, we know that, right? Now, Felicia, not so suitable. She didn't like the ocean, didn't like the water, but she looked good in a bikini. And she was a great girl, but there was other issues at play there. But she's doing well here in Australia. She's back out here doing well. The second question from Ibrahim was, who's your favorite surfer? I don't really have a favorite surfer in terms of the surfing world. I've got a favorite vlogger. I love Ben Gravy, right? I love watching Ben Gravy. And he is a surfer, obviously, but he's also a vlogger. And I love his content as in terms of surfing and vlogging. And I had plans, right? But that's obviously... COVID-19 and losing my sponsor has kind of ruined that entirely. That's going to be August. Shit. I told you I shouldn't have mentioned it, right? I told you I shouldn't have mentioned that shit. You mention stuff, it never happens. I mentioned that I'm planning to go to America by August and do a wave a day from El Slamo. What happens? COVID-19 and I lose my board sponsor. I should never have told you guys. You ruined it. I told you and then you ruined it. I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I had that plan for August. August this year, I was planning on being right there at El Slamo, backpackers surfing every day, El Slamo style, and then COVID-19, and I lost my board sponsor, so there's no way I'm going to America. But that could be a good thing. Maybe there's other things coming. Who knows? Sass, Ben, I honestly enjoy your focus that your focus is IRL. Yeah, Sass, I'm so thrilled to be starting this. It's going to be cool. I'm really pumped for it. I'm really pumped for it. I think it's going to be a unique twist to my stream, to my channel, both here on YouTube and DLive. Still not 100% certain how we'll roll that all out, but we'll have to work that shit out, right? Ever been to South Africa? Says Ibrahim, his third question. No, I have not. However, one time I was surfing out here and there was a South African dude and an Englishman and an American, and we all became friends. They were actually holidaying in the house next door, and we surfed together a lot. He was really cool. He's from J Bay, Jeffreys Bay, and we actually wrote and recorded a song together. We had a jam and we recorded it right here, and when that's finished mixing, I'll play that here on the stream. It's called Salt Water in Our Veins. It's about surfing. Thank you for the question, though. And by the way, he did invite me over to South Africa. So, although he's been pretty quiet on the old WhatsApp, I sent him a link to the final version of the song and he never replied. Maybe he hated it. I don't know. I got dumped by a massive wave when I was a young boy, and by the time I resurfaced, I'd had a birthday. Paul, that's pretty funny. Abraham, thank you for your questions, my friend. Next question is from Bekrazor. Someone we haven't seen for a while on the channel, but thank you for popping on the stream anyway. Thank you for popping the question in. He's talking about it's getting closer to our dream internet provider, and he's got a link there to the Starlink internet from SpaceX. Are you going to try signing up? So this is global ubiquitous Wi-Fi. You pay a fee and you can access Wi-Fi anywhere in the world. I want to wait and see how this works. I want to see what the latency is like, because I don't care for Wi-Fi to download an Instagram story or to scroll through Facebook. I care for Wi-Fi whilst out camping, for uploading, for streaming. So if this thing works for upload for streamers, then hell yeah, I'm onto it. But if it doesn't work for streaming, forget about it. Forget about it. Completely forget about it at that point. And we'll wait and see. At the moment, that system is only open to alpha testing, which is in fact only Tesla employees, right? Only the Starlink employees, Tesla employees, get the option to sign up to the alpha, and then it goes to public beta, or then it goes to beta, then it goes to public beta, and then they're going to target the areas with no connectivity at all. So Outback Australia, for one, will get it, and they're only talking. I checked that link out. They're only talking like 1 to 2 megabits. So that instantly tells me that's not going to be suitable. That's shitty DSL, right? That's shitty ADSL. So it's not going to work for streaming, if that's what it is. But we haven't seen it yet, so we'll wait and see. But good question, or good statement, Berserker. Good to have you up there. That's his question. Now the next question comes from the Racing Gamer, who was up there in the chat earlier, and he had to go and get dinner. Says, hey, sorry, I haven't been checking your channel out much. School's been so annoying, but I'll probably be checking in more since everyone here in the US needs to stay home. Yes. No worries, man. I get it. You can come and go to the channel. I get that. I understand that. That's why I try to be regular with my timings. Every video comes out at the same time and every live stream the same on YouTube. But I understand people have things to do. Anyway, how are you doing with the coronavirus? Okay, I'll take that question. Anything going on in Australia? Also, I remember you wanted to go get Google Stadia and possibly do content in that. How's that going? And finally get better with the skin cancer. Okay, so we did tackle the Stadia situation. We don't need to go through that again. How are you doing with coronavirus? I do think that I had a portion or a section of coronavirus, a strain of it. I think I kicked it. I think I had it twice, to be completely honest. Once up in Sydney and once down here. But I feel like if I had it, I definitely kicked it. The symptoms were only feeling comfortable laying horizontal, so only being in bedridden all day, getting up and you'd feel sick. I had really, really, really bad stomach aches and a terrible headache. And it was like a hangover that needed me to do a big sloppy poo, and I could never, the poo, there was just nothing there. There was no diarrhea, but there was the feeling of it, and there was a killer headache, and I didn't have any alcohol. So I got robbed at that point. Australia seems to be kind of okay. With sort of the curves flattening, but we're still in lockdown. So that's the corona update for Australia, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but at this point, I'd say the ships have left our waters, and the cases reported are lowering, which is a good thing. Now we've all got to just inject ourselves with disinfectant up your bum with disinfectant. In this case, 2-year rested rye from Tennessee rested rye from Jack Daniels. Cheerses. Thank you for the questions. Next one is from Mr. Square Art. Are you in Australia? What part of Australia? Do you have a girlfriend? I'm assuming GF is girlfriend. Are you in Australia? Yes. What part? Well, Sydney, Australia, more or less. Not technically Sydney, but to the south of Sydney. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not. Do I want one? Yes and no. So this is the thing. This ties back into the discussion earlier. I'd only engage a relationship that was going to involve my online presence. If I had a girlfriend that said, I love what you do online, I don't want to be any part of it at all, that wouldn't work for me. If I had a girlfriend that said, I love what you do online, I've also got a presence, can we think about a relationship together? And I know it wouldn't work that way, like in that trajectory, but if that came up, said, oh, well, I've got a presence as well, you know, if we dated, we could team up together. I'd only engage that at the moment. And if a drop dead bombshell said to me, let's get together, but you got to stop your content, hell no. That's not what I'm into. Not what I'm into at all. Thanks for the question, Mr. Square Art. It's a pretty cool handle, Mr. Square Art. Next question comes from Robert Muller. Robert, up in the chit chat earlier. I'm not sure if you're still here, Rob. Hope you're still here. He says, if you could spend the day with any singer alive or gone, who would it be and why did you choose them? I mean, I was thinking about this, and my favorite band is Ween, right? I love the band Ween. And a lot of that is just because of how silly they are and how talented they are. By the way, I've got to put my slippers on here, folks. My feet are freaking freezing. Oh, my slippers aren't even here. Forget about that. I'll just freeze. I don't fanboy anybody. I've met a lot of celebrities. I've worked with a lot of celebrities. I've photographed a lot of celebrities. I don't care for the fanboy aspect of it. So hanging out with a singer-songwriter who's deceased, I mean, Jim Morrison would be cool. Tom Waits, who's still alive, would be cool. But none of it would be for the fandom. All of it would just be because, hey, man, I think you've done some pretty crazy stuff. Like, hey, Tom, I love how you get your gargly voice. And that's all it would be. It'd be like, I just appreciate what you're doing. Dean Ween and Gene Ween, in fact, the whole band Ween, right? They just seem like pretty decent dudes that just write interesting music. Now, they've had their ups and downs. They've had their issues with drugs and whatnot, and that's all fine. But I wouldn't be smoking them. I'd just be saying, appreciate what you guys do. And you know what? I'd ask them to, can we just jam together? Can we have a jam? Can we do not even a jam? Can we make a recording together? Dina, can you do a lead on That Some? Can you come onto the That Some record and put a lead down just once? That's all I'd do. Racing Gamer's back just in time, it looks. Yeah, you just caught your comment there, Racing Gamer. But good question, Robert. I was thinking about that last night, thinking, I mean, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, would it be cool to hang out with him? Probably, but I don't really care. Love the music, love the era. He wasn't my friend. I had musicians that were just as talented as him. Didn't achieve the world, didn't write a hit that changed the whole trajectory of the music industry, but my friends were equally as talented, and I was hanging out with them all the time. I just don't really care. Yeah, I just don't really care too much for fandom. That's not what I'm into. But appreciate the question, Robert. It was a tricky one. Next question comes from Nike Freak. Nike Frikey? Nike Frikey. And it's not even a question. Well, it could be. There's no question mark. It just says when. Now, Nike Frikey, are you referring to a film? Or are you referring to a song? Or are you referring to this very stream? I think you might be referring to this stream, asking when. It's happening right now, Nike Frikey. In fact, it has happened. It's happened. You missed it, Nike. Unless you're in the chit chat, we're here right now, Nike Frikey. Nice to have you up there, though. Nice questions there. Thanks for the questions, folks. Nike Frikey asking the last question. Shiloh Road! In the chit chat. Shyla Rose, how do you do? You missed it. Shyla, we opened up the Jack that you contributed to. This is the Tennessee Rye, rested rye, 2-year-old rested rye from Jack Daniels. We opened it up on the stream, and I thanked Sin Master. He was a huge contributor to the fund for this one, as was yourself, Adrian Banks, Benny 12C, and Scotty Ventures. And I gotta tell you, Charlotte, I know you missed it. We're just wrapping up here. It wasn't very good. Wasn't very good, if I'm being brutally honest. Now, because Charlotte was one of the contributors, let's just have a quick look at what this is. Charlotte, this is only available in the States, and it was from 2013. So this is long since gone. It's batch 2 in a series of 3. So they've already brought one out. This is the second one. There's a third one coming out. This is not to be confused with the Tennessee Rye that you sent me, which we're going to open up on July. This is separate entirely. This is a rested rye. That's just a product that they make bulks of, right? Barrels and barrels and barrels. This is a select barrel rested for 2 years. 70% rye, 18% corn, 12% barley, and it smells delicious. But there's an aftertaste on this. It's a bitter aftertaste, and I did not recommend it. I do not recommend it. However, I'm recommending it later on today with some Coke. We're going to put some pop in here on the D Live, and maybe it'll make it a little nicer. It's the aftertaste which is just not working for me. If you smell it, it's vanilla, caramel, and spicy. The caramel for those Americans, the caramel comes through really strong. Vanilla comes through as well. Spice is the aftertaste. Yeah, 40% alcohol by volume, but truth to be told, yeah, not really into it. I'm not really into it. And you said rye would be bitter. So did you try that rye that you sent me, those little bottles, or did you not? It needs Coke. Yeah, I'm looking forward to later on the D Live popping the Coke in there and just seeing if it works better. But I want to say here, maybe a lemon or lime. Yeah, maybe. You mean like just neat with a lemon and lime, or with Coke and a lemon? I'll just have a splash more while we're here. Charlotte, thank you so much for your contributions to this. You know, it's a much appreciated. You've been a big supporter of my content, irregardless of where it is. That's a word I made up. Irregardless of where it is, whether it be YouTube or D Live. I appreciate you doing that, Charlotte. You've been here off the bat from the beginning, right? So I appreciate you being here, and I just wanted to cheers you as a thank you for always being there and supporting me through rough times as well, right? There's been some rough times. You never had the rye Jack. You're saying put Coke and a lemon. Okay, I'll make sure I got some lemon, because we'll do that on the D Live later on. Yeah, you've seen the Sin Master. You've seen what's gone down lately on my channel on D Live, right? Some absolutely incredible donations. Like I can't believe it. Cheers, thank you, Charlotte. And also, I never heard back from Booze Bud or from Ned. So I think that's a dead end, both of those things. It's a shame, because the concept for Booze Bud and the concept for Ned Whiskey, brilliant. Both of those things were... Hang on, I cheers and didn't drink. That's a cardinal sin. Yeah, it's the bitter aftertaste which I don't dig here. I love the smell. Oh, that smells even weirder in the glass. Is my glass dirty? Nah. Maybe I had some toothpaste on my moustache or something, but I just got a sort of a strange waft there from inside the glass. No, it's the same. Yeah, what was I saying? The content, the donations. Holy crap. D Live. Wow. It's been remarkable what's going on. And there's big changes there. We had an interesting stream last night talking about those changes. I don't agree with the BTT staking, but yeah, it sucks. The community's rad, but the D Live is changing gears. Yeah, we're going to continue, right? We're not going to change up here. We're going to continue, but the changes on D Live are a little bit concerning. That's how I feel, and we did talk about it last night, so we're not going to talk about it again tonight. In fact, tonight we're going to have a cap game, booze up, some Jack. I can hear my outro music rolling, folks. Can you hear it this week? Hope I fixed that. I thank you again for a wonderful stream. Next week we're going to talk about, does money buy happiness? Spoiler, yes. Cheers.